If you thought taking standard from a 2-year rotation to a 3-year rotation was the only big change coming to standard, I've got some news for you. So, yesterday, Wizards made a few announcements, and one of them is starting to make a buzz around the Magic community. And so I wanted to take this time to talk about it a little bit. Also, I want to talk about what's going on with my channel, the lack of updates, and the future of my channel at the end of this video. So if you're curious about that, stick around. Let's talk about this article, The Foundations of Magic's Next Era. So basically, this is just an update about all the different sets coming out. They have a nice little map at the end of it. Basically, starting in February, you have the racing one, Ether Drift. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Then you have Tarkir, Dragonstorm. You have Final Fantasy and Spider-Man, which are the Universe Beyond sets, which is what we're going to be talking about. And there's also Edge of Eternities and UUB. What was UUB? Now, going back up top, right here, this is what has everybody kind of talking about this change. Upcoming Universe Beyond booster releases will be legal in all formats. So that includes standard. Essentially, standard in the last year basically is going from at max an 8-set format to a 16-set format, because you're increasing it from 2 years to 3 years. Well, it's already increased from 2 years to 3 years. So it went from 8 to 12. And then you're adding 2 new sets every year. Starting with next rotation, if it's 6 sets per year, that's 18 sets legal in standard before rotation. That's like the biggest standard has ever been. And this could mean a lot of things. My initial reaction to this, my knee-jerk reaction, if you will, is this is a bad thing. This is not going to be good. There's just nobody's going to buy that many cards. It's going to be hard to keep up with constantly new cards coming into standard. But the more I sat on it and thought about it, I don't think it's going to be that different. Unless you're somebody who's trying to collect all the cards, this isn't going to affect you too much, in the sense of you should always get the cards you want, right? Whether if you're trying to be competitive, you're only going to get the good cards. If you're trying to just have fun, get the cards that that you jive with, and then you can ignore the rest. So overall, I think it's going to be a lot more diverse, and that's a good thing. And also, it'll probably bring in more younger faces to standard, and that also might be a good thing. I'm still on the fence on this, but I'm actually slowly leaning towards might not be too bad. Now, the only downside I can think of is if you're a fan of the whole Magic story and the setting and everything like that, this does kind of break that immersion and make it worse, I guess. But me personally, I've never really followed the story for Magic. I was more a fan of the aesthetics of Magic and the gameplay. So as long as they can kind of keep that intact, which, I mean, they've strayed so far already without having Universe Beyond in there. Like, look at Murders of Karloff Manor, Thunder Junction, all of those just wildly not the usual setting for Magic. So, I mean, they've already started incorporating all kinds of stuff. So I think Universe Beyond won't be too much different. Anyways, I don't know. Leave a comment below and tell me what you guys think about this whole Universe Beyond being part of Standard and having so many cards legal at one time in the Standard format. The other thing is they are spacing out the sets more evenly now. So every 2 months you get a new set, and I think that's a good thing. Maybe not every 2 months. For some people that might be too much, but either way, it's unlike this year where it feels like we're getting 3 sets right at the end of the year, and that feels really rushed and not too good. If they can keep a consistent space between the sets, it'll make it a lot easier to understand. Now, there was one more, not really an announcement, but an update I wanted to talk about, just real quick. Let's see here. This one? Yeah. So, in the Magic the Gathering Foundation's mechanics, they actually bring about a rule change that's coming up. Removal of damage assignment order. So, for a lot of people, this may not change a whole lot, but for anybody trying to be more competitive and actually paying attention to the intricacies of the rules, you know that if you attack with a creature and it gets blocked by multiple creatures, the way you assign damage is you order the attacker gets to pick which creature receives damage first. And for damage to carry on to the next creature, you have to deal lethal damage to that first creature. But it is the attacker that gets to choose which order, right? Well, that's going away. You are not ordering how damage gets placed. You are now you just get to choose how your damage is spread out among the blockers. So just imagine instead of the blockers getting in line, now they're like side by side and you're dealing the damage at once. So overall gameplay wise, I don't think this is going to change a whole lot. The only thing it will change is that the defender can't use combat tricks to protect one of their creatures. Well, I mean, they still can, but the defending player won't know which creature is getting how much damage until after damage is dealt with. So it's definitely worth looking into. I'm not going to go into too much more detail than that. If what I'm saying sounds really confusing, I definitely recommend reading this article. Like I said, it's under the Magic the Gathering Foundation's mechanics news on their Magic the Gathering website. And I'll leave a link to both articles in the description below. So yeah, check it out. And that's all I have to say about the updates and announcements and stuff. Now, to talk about the future of my channel and what's been going on, let's head on over to a different... press and hold. There we go. All right, so here you can see I was in the middle of editing this video. Right now it's about almost 3 hours long. It was like 6 hours long, and basically this is going to be the last video for my series of trying to get to Mythic in one day. If you look over here, I actually finished in Platinum Tier 2. I made it all the way up to Platinum Tier 1, and I was just one win away from Diamond, and then I just tanked, and it was just repeat of that. And I was trying to find all the relevant videos, but basically, while editing this, I was also trying to find time to play and try and make it to Mythic that month. And I fell on both accounts because there was just a whole lot going on in my private life that I'm not going to go over, but I just didn't I just didn't have the time to do both. And as much as I would like to finish editing this video at this point, with Dustborn coming out and Foundations coming out soon, honestly, this video is a bit not relevant to to the current meta. So it doesn't really do anything to release it now. So basically, I'm gonna scrap this video. But at the very least, maybe I thought I could talk about some of the lessons learned from it. So, one, I am not very good at aggro decks. There's still a lot of things I need to learn. But the biggest thing is my stamina for playing like this game for long periods of time is not where it needs to be. Not that I need it to be that great, but if I ever try to do this again, I will definitely have to be mentally ready for it. I made a lot of stupid mistakes near the end, and yeah, there was actually a couple games where I could have made it to at least Diamond, and I made a dumb mistake and missed Lethal or some other thing. Anyway, also, I think my attitude going into this was that if I'm playing mono red, this is going to be easy. That should not be the case. You should always, play Magic like it's Magic. There's a lot of intricacies even in playing aggro, so keep that in mind. Well, anyways, that's the how I wanted to end this video series was, whether I made it or not, just talk about my lesson learned. I did want to go into a little bit more detail, but I think we're past that now. The other thing is my channel. So yes, there's been a lack of videos, and there's going to be a lack of videos for a little while. But starting next year, I'll have a lot more time to be able to dedicate to this channel. So that's what I'm going to do. And if things go well, I might also start streaming. So if you're interested in that, keep an eye out for that. And yeah, so January next year, I'll start releasing videos a lot more consistently, and I'll try to keep things interesting. Whether it be, I'll probably just start by continuing what I'm doing now, but I want to think about different ways of making videos, so I'm not just doing the same thing everybody else is. Anyways, if you stuck around this long, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much. And remember, have fun playing Magic. And I'll see you next time.